Hello and a warm welcome. You've joined us on Market Cafe right here on ET Now. I'm Ashesha Dhwaryu and with me is Kanishka Sarkar. And this is the show where we take you through all the cues that we are getting from global markets, which are the stocks that you need to keep an eye out on, either based on news or based on brokerage reports and all other stories that you ought to know this morning. But first up, let's get started with global market update then. And Kanishka, US markets ended slightly on a positive note, isn't it?
That's right. A very good morning to you first of all. Now let's take a look at how the Wall Street fared yesterday and the cues to watch out for today. Now big bank earnings and key inflation reading, that is going to be the focus on Wall Street, apart from of course the tariff related developments that we are tracking. Now yesterday the US equities ended the first session of the week on a slightly positive note. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, that rose about 88 points or 0.2%. The S&P 500, that gained 0.1%, whereas the nasdaq composite, that climbed 0.3%. However, stock futures are slightly negative as of now, but remember, Wall Street is coming off a very positive session overnight, with stocks managing to eke out again even after US President Donald Trump threatened a 30% tariff on European Union and Mexico starting August. However, in the latest on tariffs, Trump has even threatened 100% secondary tariffs on Russia, something to keep an eye out for. Meanwhile, investors are hoping that a second quarter earnings season that comes in better than expected will boost a stock market that's already at its all-time highs. Now, big bank earnings, they are all set to kick off the season this week, with JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo and Citigroup among companies that are set to deliver their quarterly reports later today. Other than that, the street also has its eyes on the US June Consumer Price Index that is due later today, seeking clues on how the Trump administration's tariffs, they have been affecting prices. The metric is expected to show a 0.3% monthly increase and a 2.7% headline reading according to Dow Jones consensus estimates. So tracking all these cues, earnings, tariffs and inflation reading as we head into today's session. How are things looking on crude, on the crude front, Ashesha?
Yes, Brent crude is currently trading near that $69 per barrel mark. Remember, Brent declined nearly 2% in yesterday's trading session, and today as well it has started on a negative note. It is now down 0.3% as we speak, and as I mentioned, it is trading near that $69 per barrel mark. But since you just spoke about secondary tariffs on Russia, that is likely to have an impact on the oil purchases that India makes. So US President Donald Trump has threatened tariffs on Russia and secondary tariffs on all those countries which buy Russian energy. And remember, out of the total pie, nearly 30% of the oil that comes into India comes from Russia. So India is likely to be directly impacted if at all US President Donald Trump goes ahead and imposes those secondary tariffs on Russia. Now, apart from that, in fact, Goldman Sachs also came out with a note on the oil market, where Goldman Sachs says that they have increased their estimates for the rest of the year by $5 per barrel. They are now expecting Brent to average near that $66 per barrel mark for the second half of calendar year 2025, and this is on the back of lower inventories in the second half of the calendar year. So yes, oil market in focus on the back of secondary sanctions that could be imposed on Russia, and all buyers of Russian energy, including India, could be impacted on account of this move. Brent currently trading near $69 per barrel mark. But as far as gold is concerned, of course, we have seen that outperformance come in for silver as compared to gold, and gold is steady today morning as well. It is at about $47 per ounce mark, and we have seen some bit of lowering as far as safe haven buying is concerned, and this is because US President Donald Trump also said that he is ready to negotiate on tariff front with European Union. So on the back of that, safe haven buying has come down, and that is the reason we are not seeing any kind of major move as far as the yellow metal market is concerned. And Kanishka, spot gold is now trading near that $3,350 per ounce mark.
All right, so that's